in essence, even though we have a proliferation of wonderful channels and options and alternatives in terms of what we can watch, we also have a paradox that we have fewer and fewer owners, and transnational media corporations are getting bigger and bigger. So that kind of creates some interesting issues, and really at base, the core of my work is looking at how media are less than democratic, and how can we work to support those folks who are really working to make media more democratic, more inclusive, more tolerant of difference. How can we make media more useful in really delving into the considerable, serious issues that we need to sort of think about in our world, at the same time that we can also be entertained by media. So in my own work, I do this in kind of three ways. I look at media representations, so I look at issues of race, gender, class, and especially also ethnicity. I have a tendency to be really interested in how these things play out globally. And that also relates to the next thing that I look at, which is the increasing militarization of media, both in terms of content, but also in terms of production processes. And that also relates to the first part in the ways that race, class, and gender create hierarchies that are then used to kind of reinforce or justify different kinds of government policies. And then lastly, I look at the alternatives. What kinds of things are people doing to kind of create alternative forms of media that are more community-based, that are more responsive to local communities and their needs, or even at the global level, what can we do to connect people who are trying to kind of reform and democratize media around the world, because there are people all around the world working to do this. So those things are all really important, and they all kind of reflect the fact that there are economic and political processes that most of us are really unaware of, and those things are really important to know about.